Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. Also make sure you turn off the gas valve at the wall. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Frigidaire range oven safety valve. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new oven safety valve. The oven safety valve is located at the end of the oven burner. It lets the gas out when the oven calls for heat. The main reason to be changing it out is if it's failed and it's not letting the gas out. In order to get to the part, we have to go to the back of the range. We can take the gas line off the safety valve. We're going to use a 3/4 inch wrench to hold the safety valve. And then we can use a 9/16 wrench to loosen up the nut. Once you have it loose, you can just pull the line out so it's out of the valve, and we're just going to leave it sit here while we go inside the oven and take the safety valve out. We have to open up the oven door. Once you have the door open, we can remove the oven racks. If you have more than one, they all come out the same way. All you have to do is pull it out till it stops, and then lift it up and slide it out the rest of the way and set it aside. Now that we have the racks out of the way, we can reach in with our flathead screwdriver and remove the 2 screws that hold the oven bottom down. Now that we have the screws out, we're going to reach in and lift the back of the oven bottom out. Once you have it lifted up, we can pull this front lip out and then lift it out and pull the whole oven bottom out and set it aside. With the oven bottom out of the way, we can reach in and take the flame spreader out. We're going to take this nut out with our 3/8 inch nut driver. Once you have the nut out, we can reach in and lift the flame spreader off the burner tube. Once you have it out, you can set it aside. Now that we have the flame spreader out, we can reach in and pull the drawer away from the safety valve a little bit so we have more room. And then we can reach in and take the wires off. There's a wire on each side of the oven burner. You can use a small flathead screwdriver to help take them off. There's a little gray shield on here. You want to make sure you don't lose. Once we have the smaller one off, we can do the larger one that's on the right. Now that we have the wires disconnected from the safety valve, we can use the 1/4 inch nut driver to remove the 2 screws that hold the oven burner in. There's one in the front and one in the back. Once you have the rear screw out, we can lift the oven burner off. We're just going to set it over to the left side of the oven. You want to be careful that you don't bump this igniter on anything. If you break it, you're going to have to buy a new one. All you have to do is carefully lift it up so it comes off the orifice of the safety valve. Once you have it off, you can set it aside. Now that we have the oven burner out, we can reach in with the 1/4 inch nut driver and take out this screw that holds the metal plate in that goes over the top of the oven safety valve. Once you have the screw out, you can pull it forward to release these tabs on each side. And then we can lift this plate off and leave it in the oven and pull the oven safety valve out. Here's the old oven safety valve next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. To put the new oven safety valve in, we're just going to set it down and then lift the bracket over and set it on top of it. Once you have it in place, you can push it back so both sides lock into the slots. Once you have it in and the screw hole lined up, we can use our 1/4-inch nut driver to put the screw in. Now that we have the safety valve in place, we can lift the oven burner carefully up into place. And make sure that you set it onto the safety valve orifice and the front half onto the support. Once you have it in place, we can use a 1/4-inch nut driver to put the screws in. Now that we have both screws in, we can attach the wiring to the new safety valve. You want to make sure you don't lose the little plastic covers that go over the terminals. The large one, the 1/4-inch, goes on the right, and the 3/16 one hooks up to the one on the left. Once you have the terminal on and you have a good connection, you can push the cover down to cover it up. Once you have that wire connected, we can push the oven drawer back in. Just want to pull back on it. And then we can put the flame spreader on the burner tube. To put the flame spreader back on, all you have to do is lower it down into place so the bolt comes through the opening. Then we can put the nut on and tighten it down with our 3/8-inch nut driver. Now we can put the oven bottom back in. Remember, we're just going to put it back in and lift the back up and then put the front lip in underneath the frame right here. And you can lower it down. Once you have it in place, we can put the screws back in and tighten them down with the flathead screwdriver. Now we can do the one on the other side. Now that we have the oven bottom in, we can put the oven racks back in. All the oven racks go in the same way. We only have one in ours. To put them back in, all you have to do is line them up on each side, and then it's going to stop, and you have to lift it up and feed it back in the rest of the way, all the way back. Once you have all your racks in, you can close the oven door and go around back to reconnect the gas line. To reconnect the gas line on the back, we just want to make sure it's inside the new safety valve, and then we can guide it in and start the brass nut by hand. Once you have it snug, we can grab our 3/4-inch wrench and hold on to the safety valve while we use our 9/16 wrench to tighten down the brass fitting. Once you have the gas line tight, you can turn the gas back on to check for leaks, and then you can plug it in and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.